Assalamu alaikum. In this video we will see how to mount volumes to Docker containers. And before that, let's see how the data is stored by the container without Docker volumes. So here, for example, if we run a Jenkins container using the Jenkins image, and here I will map the port 8080 of my host to the port 8080 of the container, and I will give it a name, for example, Jenkins container. So here the container will be created, and here we find this password. We need this password for the first login to Jenkins. So let's copy this password, and now we can access Jenkins using from the browser, okay, using localhost combined with this part. So let's go here to the browser and open a new tab, and now we can access Jenkins using localhost with the port 8080. So here we have to paste the password, and then we click continue. And here you can choose either to select some plugins to install or to install the suggested plugins. So I have choose install suggested plugins, and now I have to wait for a few seconds for the installation. So here Jenkins tells me that some plugins failed to install properly. So we can either retry to install them or continue without the failed plugins. Okay, so here I will choose to continue because I will not need those plugins. So let's continue. And here we have to create first admin user. For the username, I will choose admin. And then I have to choose a password and confirm this password. Then you have to enter full name. I will enter just admin. Then here we click on save and continue. So here you have the Jenkins URL. And now let's start using Jenkins. Okay, so now we can start using Jenkins. So here, for example, we can create a new item. And so here I will choose a folder, and I have to give it a name. For example, I will choose the item 1. So let's click OK. And here we can write some description. So I will just enter item 1 description. So let's save. So here if we log out and log in again to Jenkins, we find the same configuration and the same changes that we did, okay? And the problem here is that the changes that we have made are stored in the container, okay? So if the container goes down, we will lose everything. So here we find that our container is still running. We can verify that using Docker PS. And the problem here is that if the container goes down, we will lose everything, okay? And we will start again from scratch. And let's test that by stopping the Jenkins container. So here I will stop the Jenkins container using the docker stop command. So the container was stopped. Let's verify that using Docker PS. So now we didn't have any container running, okay? Now when we create a new container, we have to redo everything from scratch, okay? So all the changes that we did with the previous container are lost, okay? So let's now create a new container, and here I will change the name. So here is Jenkins container 2. And now a new container will be created and we have to redo everything. Okay, so let's copy this password. Let's close this tab and open a new one. So now when we go to localhost 8080, so here you find that we have to redo everything. Okay, so we have to type the password and continue. Then we have to install some plugins and make the changes that we want to do. Okay, so here we need a solution for persisting the data used and generated by the container, and that can be done using Docker volumes. So with volumes, instead of saving the data in the container itself, we save all the data in the volume. And if the current container goes down, so we didn't lose the changes and the data used and generated by this container. Okay, and later you can create a new container and mount the same volume to this new container. So let's see that in practical. So here let's stop this Jenkins container. So here we have two containers. Let's remove them using docker rm. Then we give it the ID. So here is the ID of the first one, and then C09, which is the ID of the second one. So now we didn't have any container. Now let's create a Jenkins container, but here we will mount a volume to this container, and volume mounting is done using the -v option. And then we specified the name of the volume. So here I will choose the Jenkins home volume, and I will mount it to /var/ Jenkins home. Now when we run this command, Docker will create the Jenkins container and will mount the Jenkins home volume to this container. And here, if the volume already exists, so it will be mounted, and if the volume doesn't exist, it will be created and mounted to this container. So here, if we run docker volume ls, so here we didn't find the Jenkins home volume, but here when we execute this command, if the volume doesn't exist, which is the Jenkins home volume here, it will be created. Okay, so we didn't have to create the volume and then mount it. So let's press enter here. So now the container is running and a volume called Jenkins home will be created, and we can verify that using docker volume ls again, and now we have here the Jenkins home volume. So let's copy this password and go here to the browser, and let's refresh this page. So here we have to enter the password and then continue. So let's install the suggested plugins. Now any changes or any data generated or used by this Jenkins container will be stored in the Jenkins home volume. Okay, so if this container goes down, we didn't lose the data that we have. And later we can create a new container and mount the same volume with the same data to this new container. So now we have to create the admin user. So for the username I will choose admin, and then we have to choose a password. And here for the full name, I will choose just admin. And finally here for the email, I will choose this one. So let's save and continue. Let's save and finish. And now we can start using Jenkins. Okay. So let's create a new item here. I will choose a folder and I will call it just item 1. Let's click OK. So here we can enter some description. So let's save. So now all the changes that we made here are not stored in the container itself, but they are stored in the Jenkins home volume. So if this container fails for any reason, we didn't lose the data and the changes that we have made. So let's test that by stopping this container using the docker stop command. So docker stop, and then we give it the ID. So the container was stopped. And now even the container fails, we didn't lose the changes that we have made because everything now is stored in the Jenkins home volume. Okay, so we can create another container, and let's just change the name here. For example, I will call it a Jenkins container -2. Now this container will use the same volume with its data. So now we will find all the changes that we have made with the previous container. So we didn't have to repeat the same steps that we did with the previous container. So let's create this new container. Now if we go here to the browser and refresh this page. So first of all, let's sign in to Jenkins using the admin user that we have created. And here we find the changes that we did with the previous container. So by default, the data used and generated by the container will be stored in the container itself. And if the container fails, we lose everything. And to avoid this problem, we can mount a volume to the container. Okay? So that's it for now, and thank you very much.